Well, hello, hello, hello. It is 2023 and we are back. I'm excited to say it's been a couple of crazy weeks, but we are back. Is the Comics to Movies and More show. We're going to be going live each Sunday night. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and smash that notify bell so that you know when we go live. We do live launches and other things at different times, so it's always a great way to keep in contact with us. But as always, I've got my super sidekick, Stephen. How are you, mate? How is 2023 treating you?
Oh, good. And I have to make a smart-ass comment. You're rating the cap of probably the worst 2022 movie.
I thought New Year, mate, new hat.
It was horrible.
Well, we're not going to talk about that movie tonight. I really should have worn a different hat. We can do that another time.
I'm picking your hat.
Yeah, I feel really bad. I have to put my hand up and admit that I have not even seen the latest Black Panther movie. So it's weird. It's like I was one of those ones that every time a Marvel movie came out, I was there watching it the very first week it came out. But it's interesting that I haven't watched any of that. So
I have to say, and I think it's a lot of, and I don't know if people will agree or disagree with this. There is a bit of Marvel fatigue. And I have to say that the movies in Phase 4 haven't all been the strongest movies that have been put forward. But you're talking about just in terms of time investment. You've got She-Hulk, you're probably sinking 10 hours into it. You've got Moon Knight sinking another 6-7 hours. You've got Hawkeye sinking another 6-7 hours. It's reached a stage where I think
Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki,
there you
One
go.
Division.
It's a bit of fatigue. That I think there definitely is. It's they should space, and I know they're trying to cram. Look, Disney's trying to cram as much as they can, as quickly as they can, all the rest of it. But you reach the point where you go, you know what? I can wait. I'm not that interested right now, and it does by having all the movies spaced out. Every movie was an event. Every new TV series should be an event. If you have it every month or so, it becomes, you know what? I'll just wait until I have time to catch up. I don't know what your thoughts on that one.
And for me, the issue I find is that one, yes, I think like it's a great thing and a bad thing in regards to the universe being all connected and everything like that, because it's like, oh, cool, all these characters can appear in each of these different shows and films and that. But the issue then becomes, can you watch the films by themselves, or will you start missing stuff? And that's the issue that I find. Like, you can watch Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3, and they're movies within themselves. You can watch, Captain America and the first one, and probably the second one.
By itself as well. Civil War you can watch by itself as well. Yeah. Winter Soldier you can all watch by themselves. But you can't watch Doctor Strange by itself. Why wasn't Wanda a good one? What the hell?
You could watch the first Doctor Strange.
Oh, yep. I'm talking the second one where
you couldn't watch the second one without knowing everything that's going on. So that's my only thing, is that each of the movies used to be standalone, especially when they were introducing new characters. It was like a standalone character, and then you were introducing them into the wider MCU, where now I feel like every single character that's been introduced hasn't been probably, I feel, set up. They've been kind of just thrown into this massive universe. The only one in saying that is Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. I actually really enjoyed that series.
I haven't even watched that one, to be really fair. It's been on my list. I just haven't got around to it yet. Mainly because like the excitement's gone a little bit because I think I watched that came out after Hawkeye, if I remember right. Miss Marvel, timing wise, because I remember watching Hawkeye,
Yes.
but then for whatever reason, I decided, you know what, it's on my list. I'll get around to
Yeah,
look
I
at the
think so. I can't even remember now. Like it's that's that crazy. So yeah.
Let's say hi to the chat. I know we've been popping all the messages up, but let's just make sure we say hi. So,
Yes, we've got Nerds
nerds,
Amalgamated. How are we going? We've got Sazzy Gal, Raz MN, Deshaun, and Jackie. So hello, everyone. So
yeah,
the hard part is going to be 5 phase movies. We'll watch the TV show before watching the movies.
Mm.
That's the other thing. Like, you know, it gets now to a point where Hawkeye and all these other shows are only on Disney Plus. So if you don't have Disney Plus, and then you go to the movies and go, what's going on here? Like where did this character get introduced or whatever? Or how does this person know that? That's where I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, okay, it's you know, they need to be connected, but they also need to have what is going in their own lives separate type of thing. So, but yeah.
Yep. If you want to bring up Dushan's, happy Chinese New Year, by the way. If you don't know, today is Chinese New Year, so um, it's what traditionally happens is a reunion dinner. So your whole family gets together. I did mine with my family already, so that was good fun. And we collect you collect
And it's
money
a
as well.
superstar colorist on the line here. So
Hey Wilson, and I back to Dushan's one. Actually, I did enjoy Moon Knight,
I
but
did enjoy Moon Knight as well. I thought it was different. Again, they alluded to the wider Marvel universe, but they did keep it all about Moon Knight type of thing. And look, don't get me wrong, I loved She-Hulk, you know, smashing Matt Murdock and that line in that series. I thought was hilarious type of thing, but yeah, I don't like with Abomination and all these other characters. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. You know that it was probably the best way to introduce that character, but that's just me personally. But in saying that, to have Hugh Jackman back as
I
Wolverine,
know how good is that?
I'm super excited for Deadpool 3. I
Yeah.
think that's going to be amazing. So.
But I have to make my one comment about Moon Knight though. As much as I enjoyed the series to the end, I think I've mentioned this once or twice before. The ending is enough for me to go. It ruined I think it was 5 episodes. The way one particular scene ruined the whole 5 hours for me, and I'm enough to give spoilers out for it already. If you haven't seen anyone spoil, please just tune out for about 30 seconds and come back in after that. The scene that really got to me was like Moon Knight was facing down Christian Slater. You know, the final fight scene. He's losing. He's about to get his butt kicked.
You mean Ethan Hawke?
Ethan Hawke. Sorry,
Christian Slater. Jeez,
um,
you've been watching Willow.
I have actually, but fighting Ethan Hawke, and you know, the other girl, and I can't remember her name. She was being pinned down. Ethan Hawke was just about to kill him. Fade to black, and then he's won. That is, I have to say, the biggest cop out because you've been building up to this series. You know that fight between Ethan Hawke and Mark Spencer, the entire series, and you give us that. It's like as your audience comes through and goes, "What?" And then you give us that big CGI fight between the two gods, which is boring ass to watch, and you take away the one fight scene, which is what you know. How do you win? Hero wins. Wait, I don't understand it. And they never hint at what they did. They never think it was just a cut fade to black and moved on. And I thought
Yeah.
that was really, really bad. It was enough for me to go, you know what? That ruined the series for me. Just that 10 seconds clip. They could have done something small. Like, you know what? Like, Ethan, somebody throws a rock into the staff or something. It doesn't have to matter what it was. but at least give an out of how the hero wins, as opposed to a fade to black, fade to black, fade back in, and he wins. So
Yeah. The one other big thing that I want to touch on, and that's with all the streaming services and everything like that, is how a lot of new series are getting canned after one season. It's like that, wealth of IP that everyone was kind of after has kind of now shut the door a little bit, and all of these fairly interesting series are kind of getting one season, maybe 2 seasons, and kind of getting axed. I've just finished watching a German series called 1899, which is from the same creator as Dark.
I love the Dark. The
yeah, well, I haven't
1899
seen
on my
it.
list.
So we're going to go back and watch the 3 seasons for that. But I did Google if it had an ending, because I know it didn't get it only went for 3 seasons, and it says it does have an ending. And the reason why I did that was because 1899 has a major cliffhanger, which is I thought was pretty cool and a pretty nice twist. But then just they've just said, oh yep, we're not even when it's not getting a second season. So and then it's funny, I was going to mention another one, and Nerds Amalgamate have actually said it. I really thought Jupiter's Legacy was quite a good and interesting show as well, and that was another one after one season, bang, axe can see you later. So I'm kind of a little bit worried about these streaming services like getting a bit of a name for themselves, coming out with some good series and then axing after a season, because what has already happened, and I don't do this, but I've already seen quite a few people, they've reverted back to just downloading stuff, because they're like, well, I'm not going to pay for one season, or I'm not going to pay for this, which I find really, really interesting. So it's probably something we can delve in another time, but that was just one thing that I've kind of, over the Christmas break and everything, I've kind of found. So
okay. By the way, since you're going to go into Dark, before you go into Dark, this what I'm asking you to share is not spoilery. So if you don't read into it, you're fine. But Dark deals with with time travel, and there is a focal point of time travel and something that keeps happening. So it does deal with a lot of, if it's going to happen, it's already happened, but there are breaks to things. So if you pop up my image, this is the timeline for season 1 and 2. Again, don't read into it, but this is how the Dark timeline works. It messes with your head, and this is only season 1 and 2. Season 3, this image does not include season 3, because it even gets more convoluted in season 3.
Okay, wow.
So when you do watch the Dark and you're confused, come back to this image and start tracking timelines, because this is. Oh wait, he went back here, and that's there, and it's this version, or it's this version, that version, and wait a minute, who's this guy's? They had the grandfather paradox, that somebody actually went back and became somebody else. It messes with your head, and
okay.
this is season 1 and 2. This is season 1 and 2. This isn't the entire season yet. So
that is crazy. But
it's something to look forward to. Something for you to look forward to when you get around to it.
Netflix also. Yes, I have found that password sharing. A lot of the streaming services are doing that. I know Stan has put something in place for that, and a couple of other streaming services. So yeah, that's been quite interesting. And I tell you what, yes, I have. I've watched the first 3 episodes of Vox Machina. Absolutely love it. I absolutely love this series, and the latest episode has a couple of extra characters in it, based on some other I didn't know whether they were in the same universe, and I don't want to kind of spoil it, so we'll talk about that later. But I noticed them in the background. They didn't have any talking parts in it, but I was like, oh, isn't that character out of such and such a book or game or something like that? So yeah, but very cool. I loved Fox Magana.
I did as
There's
well.
heaps of great stuff out at the moment. There is second season and final season of Carnival Row with Orlando Bloom.
I
Uh,
love that one. So
the
the first,
latest season of Vikings Valhalla is on Netflix. We've been watching Yellowstone as well, which is in the final season. I've been watching 1923 with Harrison Ford. So there's some decent stuff out at the moment to kind of watch. So I look forward to kind of talking about all that throughout the year.
yeah. But on to the movie, and I'm really glad you finally watched this. And I know Jackie's here, so Jackie's this one. I have to say, in terms of absurd, surreal, you name it, in terms of movie wise, that um, went. Look, I didn't expect it to be what it was, and what it was fantastic. Um,
Well, I had
and
to pick this movie. You asked what I'd watched lately,
yeah,
and I said like I had to
it's
go
the
back and
best
watch
movie of the
this.
year. The best movie of
And I can't believe
2023.
it took me so long to watch this. I actually watched it with my wife Lizzie. I wasn't sure it was going to be her type of film, but she really enjoyed it as well. She was like, it was something completely different. There was action, there was comedy, there was a good family dynamic relationship in there, and then it had and now I understand when you say, oh, this is everything the multiverse of madness wasn't or could have been. I totally kind of get that now, but this would go up to be probably my favorite movie of 2022. It would go close.
Yeah.
Maverick was also
Oh, I Maverick was
much
good.
better than I
I enjoyed.
thought.
But the reason I absolutely love this, like, you think with a title, and I'm sorry I'm picking Doctor Strange a bit because it came out like about the same time. It's like you pick on Ant's Life and was it Ant's and A Bug's Life? The I don't know if you remember back in the 90s, Hollywood, whenever they released one movie, another movie studio released something very, very similar. Like Dante's Peak and Volcano, I think, came out very similar. So,
Dante's Inferno, yep.
uh, was it? There was that Deep Impact and the other movie, the Bruce Willis one,
Armageddon.
Armageddon. Deep Impact, Armageddon, two
Don't be
asteroid hits
knocking
the world.
Armageddon. That is one of
No,
my
I'm not. I'm
favorite
just
movies
saying.
of all time. My,
I'm
my,
just
my,
saying they came up about the same time.
I don't
And
cry much in films. That is one film that gets me every single time. There's just the
uh,
one line by Bruce Willis to Ben Affleck when he says it's your job to look after my girl now. Bang, man! The waterworks start. I can't help it. My wife thinks it's ridiculous, but yeah, I
oh,
love that movie.
it's okay. It's okay. But like Multiverse of Madness. You think Multiverse of Madness? They could have done all the really crazy stuff. And the worst thing about the Doctor Strange one, they panned through the entire craziness in about 20 seconds. There's one scene where they pan through paint world, whatever. And you're just going, let's start seeing all these crazy stuff. And nothing. It was absolutely nothing they showed. Even all the different worlds they visited was, I have to say, really boring. It wasn't anything that goes, oh wow, this is so absurd, this is so crazy. And oh, by the way, the other thing that I really enjoyed it was the long fight scene takes. And I'm actually, I love old Chinese movies. I have to say, and the one thing about a lot of all these old Chinese movies and the old Jackie Chan movies is a lot of the fight scenes are single take. So the camera doesn't cut And I suppose that's the one thing I really hate about the modern CGI stuff. It's all quick cuts, and if you actually go back, I think I hate to drop his name, Matt Damon. The Bourne series is probably guilty of those quick cuts like nothing else, and made it standard. And I have sent you a link of the worst quick cut ever. So it's 7 seconds. If you go to the private chat, you can bring the video up. And I want to share it with everybody else. And I'm really sorry to this particular actor. We won't spoil it yet. But it is the worst quick cut in terms of an action movie flick. The absolute worst. It's only 7 seconds. So.
Oh. It's so short every time I keep winding it back. It starts without.
It's 7 seconds. It is the worst quick cut. Quick cut action sequence.
when you showed me this, I was like, what? Why is this so bad? And then I went back and watched it and was like, oh my god, this is like crazy. So let's have a look.
So guys, just watch it for the quick cuts.
Ready, set. 12.
12? I got 15.
Yeah, 15? Oh, okay. There we go.
So Liam Neeson in Taken 3, jumping over a fence, took 15 cuts. 15 cuts.
That is crazy.
Or 12. Again, it happens so quickly, we lose track.
Yeah.
12 to 15 cuts for him to jump over a fence.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that video and then slice it up and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll find out exactly how much it is. But you're 100% right, because until you brought that to my attention, I actually didn't realize like how often that is used, especially in action sequences. And I know again last year, you know, we did a little bit of pitching of different ideas, and I pitched an AFL story that I kind of wanted to do. And one of the big feedbacks I got around that was they're like, oh no, it's too hard because, you know, actors can't play football and footballers can't act, so you know you're just never going to be able to do like a drama around that without it looking tacky and all that type of stuff. And I was like wow, like is there really no one out there that can act and play football or kick a
or you could do the quick cut, or you could do say, look at this movie. This is how all the action sequences are going to be.
I've got all the kids these days are bringing back the mullets. I've gone, they all look the same from the back. Quick cut, quick cut, quick cut, quick cut, quick cut. Yeah.
No, but that's actually one of the reasons. If you go back to Daredevil season 1, and I know we're jumping topics a bit. We'll get back to Michelle Yeoh soon. But that's why Daredevil season 1, the hallway scene, it is so talked about, and it's still. I don't know. I'll be honest. I'll go to YouTube once in a while, doorway scene, just to watch it because it's done so well. And it's actually based off a Korean movie. Oh gosh, I can't remember. But he does not The Raid. He has a hammer basically, and he basically does the entire one scene with a hammer. I'll try to find it while we're talking. We'll try to find it for you. But the whole point would be and a lot of single takes have been very much a staple of Chinese or Hong Kong cinema, because that's what people want to see. If you do it really, really well, number one, it doesn't distract the viewer, and you can then really appreciate a lot of the scenes, and you can really appreciate, oh my God, did he really kick at this angle or did something, as opposed to what happened. Like picking on Liam Neeson a little bit, did he really climb the fence? Because you see reach up. So is it because he's too old to climb the fence? Oh boy, if Martin brought it up. So hey Martin, thanks John. Old Boy had a one single scene with a hammer, and I'll send you the link. We probably can't play it because I don't want to get our channel struck. But Old Boy, I'll send you the link if you want to watch it. It has an amazing one person scene, and the
That's a movie.
director.
Old
Oh, no,
Boy.
no, it's a movie. It's a Korean movie,
Okay.
but you don't have to watch the whole thing. But I'll send you the one scene which they base a lot of Daredevil on, and you'll see. And
It's got plenty of action, mate. It's right up my scene, so I'll give it a go.
yeah, it's a bit messed up into the story. So I just give you the heads up. It's not one of those very pleasant stories. It's actually one of those. Um, I don't know. It messes you up stories.
Okay.
But the fight scene is fantastic. Anyway, I but a lot of everything all at once did have the long panic sequence where if you, for example, one of the sequence where Michelle Yeoh is fighting, they did it across the scene where you had a security guard and her, and there were cuts, but on the whole, they let the scene linger quite a bit. You're talking like 20, 30 seconds of actual, watch the scene where Raymond was fighting as well. There was a lot of single long takes, and it's fantastic that they actually bring that back to the cinema because a lot of American movies are really moving away from those single one takes or going almost pure CGI. And as much as I love Spider-Man, a lot of this, it's all CGI, and although it's a single tracking take, it's not as believable. And having the fight scenes the way it was, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. This is what I missed. What was your take?
Just before I answer that, I do want to ask you. You are talking about the original Old Boy because I can see that it was remade by Spike Lee in 2013.
Oh no! The original, the Korean one.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'll send you the link separately. But it's I
Have
think
you actually watched the American version?
I have not, because the Korean one was, I would say, in terms of cinema, it's one of it's a messed up movie, but it's really, really good. It's one of those good messed up movies. The ones when by the time
It
you get to
has
the end,
half of Marvel's cast in it. It's got Josh Brolin, Elizabeth Olsen, Samuel L. Jackson.
Wow, everybody's in it.
So yeah, which is quite funny. So yeah. It's got Lance Riddick. It's got Rami Malek as well, who's
Wow.
out of Rhapsody. So it's got a pretty all-star cast. I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna watch both. I'll watch the original first because I don't want to do that, but yeah. There you go. Before me, I'm, as I said before, I'm super excited that I actually took the time to sit down and watch this, and I'm kicking myself that it took myself so long to watch this. I think the biggest thing for me was that the actual trailer didn't do anything really for me. Hence why I probably didn't. It wasn't something that was high on my list to kind of watch, but I thought it was, very intelligently done. All of the characters, especially for the way it jumped around so much, I really felt for every single one of those characters, which I think is very hard to do in a very short amount of time. It's easy when you've got multiple movies to tell a story over, but that whole family dynamic and each of those individual characters, I think their story arc in the film was done just absolutely fantastic. And the cool thing about this is you could just watch this movie, leave it alone, and just have one movie, or it opens up the possibility to an infinite amount of kind of stories that could be told within that universe type of thing. So and again, the other thing that I find always really clever is when they, and I know you're always wanting to kind of put in an explanation for certain things and how things work. And I think the dialogue and the way they communicated very quickly how it worked and how they were able to get from one dimension to another and get certain skills and all that type of stuff. I thought was very clever type of thing. They didn't have to, take them into the mainframe and tell them that they were going to download a dojo and
I
then
know.
in the dojo. I was like, you did everything the Matrix did in about a 30 to 40-minute scene in literally 2 minutes. And it was just as believable in 2 minutes as it was in that 40-minute Matrix thing. So I just thought it was fantastic all round. I think the writing was fantastic, the action was fantastic, and then the delivery of it all together. No wonder it won a couple of Golden Globes and everything. I wouldn't be surprised if it won more awards as well. So I as I said, I would give this 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, whatever you want to kind of say, those high marks, and would definitely recommend, if you haven't seen it, to really check this one out.
Oh, look, and I don't know if you realized, I'm happy to mention this. There's a lot of really Chinese dynamics in this. And number one, a lot of Chinese families, and just one generation back. Number one, there's no PDAs. There's no personal display of affections. There's no hugging. Everything is very, it's you don't say I love you. You don't, and you've heard all the memes. Oh, I got 90%. Well, why didn't you get 95? I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't do. I'm not good enough. I got 99%. Where was the last 1%? It's a lot of that it's always you can do better, and there's a lot of that inbuilt into Chinese culture in terms of how the family dynamic works, and it's almost always total respect for your parents, and your parents never apologize to you even if they're wrong. So there's one scene which I absolutely loved because it captured it so well. Like the daughter was running out, and Michelle Yeoh was in the wrong. She basically, and the daughter and her were both waiting outside the car park, and the daughter she turned around. All she needed was one word of affirmation. You know what?
Yeah.
Come back in or whatever. And she said
She
something.
couldn't.
So yeah, she couldn't. And number one, she said something so typically
Worse.
Chinese. No, and no. But the stupid thing about it is that's actually how a lot of Chinese families displays affection. You might think it's the weirdest thing. They display affection by insulting you, and it sounds really bad, but it's not a nasty insult. It's actually something which they think of it as constructive. And the comment, the what she said to her daughter was, "Oh, you're getting fat." It's meant to be you could work harder, lose weight, because it's you didn't get you got 99%. Why didn't you get 100? It's that type of thing. Oh, you're getting fat. And that's something I've heard my aunties, my parents, you name it, all the generations before me. That's actually how they communicate. And it's perfect. I mean, in terms of dialogue, I hated it as a kid. Don't get me wrong. Everything I hate, I'm not doing to my daughter.
But that's what I also found interesting in this is that it did touch on that multi-generational thing.
Yes.
It was like you could tell that the mother, that Michelle's character, wanted to say something, wanted to change, but she was so ingrained from her own father that and that's why that's why it always, like with anything, it takes multiple generations to kind of for things to kind of change. Like, my wife's family, her grandmother came over from Ireland, so they're very like you just said, it's very standoffish. It's no hugging. There's no "I love you." There's all that type of stuff where we've been here for multiple generations, and it's like over PDA type of thing, over the top. So I kind of also picked up on those subtleties and everything, but it's such a great movie, even from someone that's you've got a daughter, I've got two daughters. Even from that point of view, it's like, how could you say that? Like, just tell her that you love her, or it's gonna be okay, or like anything. Don't say.
I know, but the weirdest part about it, that's Michelle Yeoh's character saying to the daughter, "I love you," by saying you're getting fat. It's the subtlety behind it. I loved, and that's why I think one of Raymond's lines, which is, I would have loved to have done taxes and do laundry with you. And again, I'm butchering, I'm paraphrasing the line, but he's a successful producer, and Michelle Yeoh's this super movie star, and for him to throw that line in to go, I would have be happy in a world where we just did taxes and laundry. Again, if you notice, they don't actually say "I love you" much. I think they said it once or something in the whole movie. But that's how Chinese people actually do communicate. It's that's probably the biggest declaration of love in that one line, and I love it. I really, really love it. It's just the way they did it. I have to give props to the screenwriter, because they brought a lot of my childhood memories back. Of this is how it was. You gotta touch on the hot dog fingers. That's it. That's the ridiculous part of it. That's the absolute. Let's be absurd. And if you're gonna be absurd, let's talk about Ratatouille. Let's talk about hot dog. If you're going to push the envelope,
and I love how they Raccoonatouille. Like, I love how they played on that they were making fun of her dad going, "Oh, it's Ratatouille," type of thing. But then in the alternate universe, there is a raccoon. I was like, that's what I'm saying. It was very clever. Very clever writing, and it felt like quite a short film as well. I know it was over 2 and a bit hours long, but it did not feel like that length whatsoever. So I thought it was great, and I thought what a way to start off the year in regards to highlighting a really great movie that I'd kind of missed this year, last year, and watched it this year. So yeah.
Look, the other thing I did want to talk, and I know it was really good, and I've got so much to catch up on, but I know there's basically 3 projects I do want to touch on. Links in the private chat if you take a look. But there's especially because it's actually really exciting, and I do want to spend about 5-10 minutes on each of these 3 projects. The first one, it's yours, Shaun. What's happening? When's it coming out? Because it's really, really exciting. And I'll bolster your thunder. It's all yours.
Yeah. So, the first one that we've got coming out. So, at the moment, if you don't know, we've got Night up on Kickstarter. It finishes in 5 days, and we're about $500 short on that project. So we're hoping to kind of make that up before the end of the campaign, but pretty much as soon as that ends, we'll be getting cracking into Occupation Rainfall, which I understand is starting to film in July, August of this year. And one of the main reasons we're getting cracking onto this project straight away is that Luke Spark, the director and creator of Occupation, has allowed me to put in a few rewards in regards to getting either on set or having some credits within the movies and that type of thing, which is like something that I've never been able to kind of offer any sort of backers or anything like that. So I'm really excited about that project and getting it out there. So yeah.
Fantastic. Make sure you put the link for Rainfall in the comments. And basically, um, by the way, just as a heads up, it used to be, and this is why you probably see a lot more of these things come through, but it used to be that Kickstarter only lets you have one active project. This includes pre-launches. It only lets you have one active project, including a pre-launch at any one time. So I'm really, really happy that I think as of late last year, Kickstarter has changed its policy that you can have you can only have one active project, which you still need to fulfill, but you can have up to 5 projects running that are basically what they call unfulfilled projects, which basically in my headspace goes, I can have 5 pre-launches running at any one time. And I think I absolutely love it because what that means is it allows us to show you all the stuff that's coming up without having to go, this one needs to finish before we can talk about this one. And it builds up a lot of hype. So that's why I'm really, really excited about Rainfall. Um, Next, and I know I'm going to run through a couple because we've got 20 minutes left. You want to pop the second one on, which also really excites me.
Yeah, so we are just going to print as we speak for Aquila. But before we even ran the Aquila campaign, one of the things that we wanted to do with Fractured Shards was make sure that we're well in advance prior to doing any Kickstarters. So, Aquila ended only in November. It'll be printed by the end of this month and be shipped out in the first couple of weeks of Feb. So in the first quarter of this year, probably towards more to the middle of the year, we'll be launching Fractured Shards Volume 3, which I can say is almost completed as well, except some cool drawing rewards pages that we've kind of left out to make sure and offer those to certain backers and everything. But we're really excited about this project. Number 3 really kicks off a lot of stuff, and all of the new books, which I'm really excited about, is we got these cool little rewards from readers' favorite in regards to so this is the illustration award for Fractured Shards. We actually got another one for being a book award winner, which is kind of cool. And then we even got another one, which is a 5-star review sticker. So they will go on any future books that kind of go out, which is kind of cool to be in a position where we've won a couple of awards for a multi-award winning series now, and I can tell you that Dan has got a lot more in his brain that he's wanting to get out there. So, and we're looking to do something special with this launch, but nothing's locked in yet. So when we get a little bit closer, we'll make a major announcement around that. So.
Make sure if Sean's going to drop the link in the comments, if you guys haven't already, just press notify so that you guys know when it goes live. It also helps us gauge the interest level as well, which we love. It's basically you guys showing, hey, look, I can't wait for it. And it helps us out a lot to gauge that. The one thing I do like about Fractured Shards that we've had the workshops with Dan is I honestly, I know I'm pushing too far ahead, but 3 and 4 are already written in terms of the story, and it explains a lot. I mean, not everything, but it does explain a lot. And I really want you guys to read it because it actually finally explains how the fractures work, and it explains quite a bit. And so far, no one has picked how the fractures work, which is fantastic because I know people put a lot of comments in before. We get lots of messages. There have been some people who have picked certain plot elements, and um, we won't tell which ones people who got it right. But I know I read a lot few comments. People go, "Oh, this is this," and we're going, "Damn it, it's right," but we don't want to tell you it's right. But no one has actually picked what the shards actually are, which I'm really, really excited because I think it will be. There's a lot of thought that went into picking what the shards are, and I think it makes perfect sense if you look back in it. It's actually all explained in 1 and 2 what the shards actually are, but it gets properly explained, I think, in number 3 and 4. So I'm really, really excited about it. Okay. And I love this because, like I mentioned, Kickstarter allows us to pre-launch like crazy. So this is another one. So um, I'm actually really, really excited about this because Terra Olympus, we're aiming to finish it about issue 7. So at the end of issue 3, that was a cliffhanger already, and issue 4 goes back. And I know a lot of people have been waiting for this one because in issue 4, it actually explains. Um, it is about the midpoint of the story, so it actually explains why everything fits in place, and basically the major conflict gets expanded out on. And while I'll get some images ready, but I'm really, really excited to show this one because um, I don't know. This is one series I absolutely enjoy. I have absolutely enjoyed in terms of, and it's one of the hard sci-fi series, which actually I could actually delve into a lot of. This works because of this, and I can't wait to show it to you. While Sean, you want to cover a bit? I'll get one of the images ready
Yeah,
while you have
definitely.
a chance.
Well, I'm super excited about this one as well. Like I was excited about Volume 3 because it had a little bit more action in it and everything like that. But we've got a cool new artist on Volume 4. The artwork is absolutely beautiful. It kind of fits in with where the story is going as well. And this is one that I'm super excited to kind of put out there as soon as possible. So, we're producing a lot of stuff very quickly. And the reason why we're able to do that is because of, supporters of this show, people that have backed our previous Kickstarters and now more of a little bit of an audience out there. But one thing that I will be focusing on this year is more around distribution and more about getting it out there to some more people that haven't seen it before. So really excited about this one. And if you haven't read Terra Olympus, you can get it from Heroes HQ in Ballarat. If you are around there, you can pick it up from there. It's in there now. So Nerds Amalgamated say, will it be covered moving forward? No, we're still sticking with the grey tones with this one. And once I put Stephen's screen on, you will see why.
There was a conscious decision not to go color. And this is one of the reasons behind it because I loved it black and white. I absolutely love it black and white. And this is one of the panels. And one of the reasons behind it is black and white gives a very, very different feel to it. And the one thing about Terra Olympus is it's not Star Trek where it's clean and everything. It's not the clean future. It's messy, it's dirty, and it's all the rest of it, which actually makes the black and white in terms of storytelling makes a lot more sense. But to be fair, it's not just ink work. It is colored, if you will. We actually have a colorist on Terra Olympus, but we color in grayscale.
Yeah.
And I really hope you guys can see, and this is zoomed in. You can see how big the text is, but you guys are really hoping you can kind of see all the detail that that gets put into
It's
it.
not just black and white. It's not just pencil and ink. There's a lot of grayscale that's gone into that, and I think that's why I love it so much. It just makes it really pop more, and it does suit this story. And really excited to kind of get this one out there as well. So
Yeah. I, to be really fair, I do. It's one of those stories I really do want to tell the ending to, and I've look like Sean knows we've already got the ending all mapped out on the rest of it. But oh man, I just want to reach that point because the one thing I would love to do once we finish the series is there's two things I want to do, and Sean knows is basically compile an ultimate volumes like volume 1 and 2, which basically one will collect the first half of the series, one the second half of the series. And once that's done, I would love like the one volume edition where everything is jammed in. I know some people like the smaller volumes, and some people like the ones where it's big, like the omnibus size things. I want to do volume one, the two collected versions, and the man, buy this one and you have everything in it. So I can't wait. I really can't wait until we reach that point where we're making those type of decisions on how we're going to collect the story. Which
that's it. Well, I've got another one that's coming out in the first half of this year as well, and that's issue 4 of the 13th labor. So I've been able to power through this one quite quickly, and that's because I don't have any sort of creative input on this one, and that it's a one that we're purely publishing for David Gay and his creative team. But super excited about this issue because it's halfway through the mini series. All of the funds that go from what we've raised so far is going into issues 5 to 8 to get created at the moment. So we're super excited to try and raise as much as we can for this one, so that we can finish off that mini series. So and things really heat up in issue 4 of the 13th labor. It's such an amazing story. Pippa is a fantastic character, and things are really hotting up for her and Hercules in regards to the tournament that they're in. So that's one. If you haven't, please hit that notify bell, and we're really excited to showcase that one. And of course, there's always those really cool drawing cover ones that we do with the 13th labor that have been hugely successful. It's funny, I sell a lot more of those at conventions. I didn't print many of them because I'm like, okay, well, is it just for the people that want that have gotten the reward type of thing? But it's been interesting to see how popular they are, and be able to kind of explain to people, well, this is what we can do. We're able to kind of draw you straight onto the cover of the comic. So but these are all amazing, as you touched on, Stephen, before. We wouldn't be able to do this if Kickstarter hadn't changed their rules around multiple pre-launch pages and everything. That was one of the major feedbacks we'd provided Oriana, who looked after the publishing side at Kickstarter, is that for us, people that are publishing all the time, we need the pre-launch pages up to gather interest and those type of things, but we can't do that if they're making us wait until after we fulfill a Kickstarter. So those rules and changes have allowed us now to do these pre-launch pages. And the fractured shards one I only did the other day while I was on the phone to Stephen to kind of get it up and out there. So 2023 is going to be a massive year for comics to movies, Stephen, and I cannot wait to kind of showcase all the stuff that we've got in store.
And Sean, you actually haven't seen this because actually Wilson just sent it to me. The colorist for Night just sent it to me about half an hour before the stream started. So, like always, if you listen to the stream, you get sneak peeks and all the rest of it.
Ooh.
So, and
Even
I'm
I
gonna
get sneak peeks.
that you get sneak peeks. Everybody gets at the same time. But one of the key things about Night is the colors, and it's very important because it starts off night, goes into day, so there's day, dusk. So the timing is very important, and that's really shown by sunrise, sunset. So this is one of the scenes that happens after. If you look at the Kickstarter, you see the beast, and he notices. If you look at the background, the sun's starting to rise, and I'll show you the next couple of panels, and I love it. Look at the colors.
That is so cool.
I know. So, Wilson, if you're still in the chat, thank you so much. I'll be going through everything later today, but this is them walking into the sunrise. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So, again, if you haven't already, please check out Night. We are so close. We've just crossed the 5,500 mark. So, I think we're 500 away from funding. So, um, share the link. Take a look at it yourself if you can. But we really want to get this one across the line because I think this is a really fun story as well.
Yeah, I've just chucked the link back in the chat again, just for those that might not have seen it. So, and we've got a bunch of people following the project. So I'm hoping that last 48 hours is a gangbuster one. But I hate leaving. I hate leaving. That close. I would not want to wait until Thursday, Friday to try and get her across the line. But I'm hoping to tee up a final countdown with Martin Copping. So if we can organise that, that would be fantastic as well. So keep an eye out on our social media channels. And we'll post that up if we can get that out across the line as well. So the other thing I did want to let people know moving forward is there will be some weeks that we have pre-recorded shows. We're starting to kind of get a few people reaching out to us and to be able to accommodate those people. Sometimes we need to film or do these shows at different hours. So we will let you know when we do a pre-recorded show. But it's going to be kind of cool to have a bunch of other people on the show. So super excited about that. And then on top of that, some of the other projects that we've got moving forward is I've got a major announcement for XCT coming soon. So I'm literally just waiting for some documentation to be able to drop that big bombshell on everyone. But super excited about that. We've got Talus of Sparta issue 2 almost completed. We're just doing the covers for those at the moment. So the pre-launch page for that will go up soon as well. And we're also looking at doing another anthology. But this time we're going to do one short story within each of our universes from comics to movies. So we're going to be putting a call out to people to write a 10-page short story in the world of XCT, in the world of Fractured Shards, in the world of Talus of Sparta, which will be kind of cool, and we'll be using that as like our promotional book to people to say, hey, here's a range of stories from all of our different series that you can check out in one anthology. So super excited about doing that as well. So and Stephen, what else do you have in store from you?
Oh, look, I'll send more pre-links, pre-launch links as I start building them. But look, we've probably hit our hour already, so I'm happy to save my stuff for a following week. But look, as per usual, thank you guys so much for always checking in, always supporting. I know we've dropped a stack of pre-launch links. Just hit notify for all of them. We really do appreciate it because, um, it's fantastic, and we're always thankful for the support you give because it lets us do all these wonderful stories. And no, I can't thank you guys enough for everybody who always hits the notified and all your support that you guys give.
That's it. And we do know, a lot of stuff has been changing, the COVID world and all that type of stuff is, I feel, slowly coming to an end. So we feel like 2023 is going to be a good year, but there'll be other things that really will help us moving forward in regards to, maybe speaking to your local comic book shop about stocking our stuff, and we'll provide some information moving forward around when we have all of that distribution side set up to kind of get your guys' help to kind of get the word out there into more of the stores and everything. So, and there will be a couple of pre-recorded shows in that April-May time slot because I'm taking a holiday with my family. So I'm super excited about that. So I'm going to spend 5 days by the pool in Thailand, and then a couple of days in Singapore. So I'm looking forward to hitting up a couple of comic book shops when I hit Singapore. So if anyone's got some good ones, send them to me. But thanks again. Thank you, Stephen, for joining me again. Next week we look to have a exciting guest on, so keep a lookout for that. Until then, have a great night, stay safe, and remember to hit that subscribe button and smash that notify bell. Have a great day, guys.
See you all.